This is Appalling News. I'm Paul Chatto. Warning, today's news is exceedingly appalling. First up has to be Google's Gemini AI disaster, the image-generating application that refused to render white people in any context, even a factual historical one, unless you use the term evil. The generated founding fathers of America were all people of color, apparently. Who knew the Nazis were made up of black people and female Asians? Our understanding of Vikings, it seems, was all wrong. Black Roman emperors and popes, Native American rabbis, Albert Einstein is a small Indian woman. If you didn't know better, you'd have thought Gemini AI was responsible for Netflix's Cleopatra. This unqualified embarrassment of an own goal brings up several issues. The first being, how the hell did this actually get out of the door without either proper testing or management oversight? How did this survive 3 days out in the wild without being unplugged? Well, this certainly was not the intended result. How deeply is Google infested by DEI and CRT viruses? Because it is clear, at its core, Gemini AI is a woke app. Even Elon Musk weighed in. Given that the Gemini AI will be at the heart of every Google product and YouTube, this is extremely alarming. That is an understatement. Elon goes on to write, "The senior Google exec called me again yesterday and said it would take a few months to fix. Previously, he thought it would be faster." My response to him was that I doubted that Google's woke bureaucratic blob would allow him to fix it, unless those who caused this are exited from Google. Nothing will change except to make the bias less obvious and more pernicious. Elon is absolutely right. Unless the people who caused this are fired, not much is going to change except a few more white people will make their way into the generator. The fact is that Google search is already polluted with prejudicial search results, making it almost worthless in many cases. While we would love this to be Google's Bud Light moment, unfortunately, Google is too big, pervasive, and there aren't that many alternatives to its business suite except for the bloated Microsoft Office 365 or Zoho. What Appalling News found really appalling was how understated Google's response was to this self-immolation. Their headline read, "Gemini image generation got it wrong. We'll do better." How many drafts with the PR company did it take to get that gem out? We recently made the decision to pause Gemini's image generation of people while we work on improving the accuracy of its responses. We love the word pause here. It makes it sound benign, like pressing the pause button on a remote to go to the shitter. Oh no, Google management has gone DEFCON 1, we assure you. We just can't hear the screams. Improving accuracy caught our eye. Doesn't something have to be accurate in the least in the first place to be improved? How do you improve on a black George Washington? Give him white slaves? How do you improve on a black Nazi? Oktoberfest Oompa hip-hop? It's clear that this feature missed the mark. By missing the mark, does Google mean misfired rockets killing their own people? Under Next Steps, Google wrote, "This wasn't what we intended." No shit, Sherlock. Who is actually running Google? We here at Appalling News understand that AI-generated images have to have both checks and balances, don't want another Swift incident, as well as be able to offer diverse responses. And it's clear Google overcompensated, like an upper-middle-class, middle-aged white divorcee who only dates black men in support of BLM. San Francisco artists protest Israeli massacres in Gaza by vandalizing their own works. Please don't stop. The small Alberta town of Westlock has been catapulted into the news because Westlock residents recently voted to ban pride crosswalks and allow the town to only fly flags representative of the municipal, provincial, or federal governments. Homosexuality wasn't banned, and neither were the rights of any Wi-Fi password people. There was nothing stopping anyone from buying a birthday cake featuring a giant penis. The mayor decried the vote, saying that he wants to support marginalized groups. The definition of marginalized is treating people as insignificant or peripheral. You're laughing already. We're certain that the mayor wanted to make a point by using the word marginalized, but with the obvious oversaturation of pride and trans-related events, stories, and our own liberal junta leader, Justin Trudeau, stretching Pride Month from 1 to 3 months, he clearly got the definition wrong. For God's sake, we complain about Christmas sales starting in November, and we can't complain about pride oversaturation. But hysterical reactions have only started. The most vocal one from Ontario-based out-of-towner Butinsky lawyer and professional tonsil tickler Douglas Judson, who tweeted, "Our firm will be covering the cost to ship all of Borderland Pride's remaining Pride Lives Here campaign signs to Westlock, Alberta. We went through this hateful small-town bullshit here in 2020. We will do what we can to support other small places in need." The reason Douglas is mad is not because of any day-to-day needs of the community, caring, or equality, but because the extreme perpetrators of this movement finally ceded ground, like in a battle. The Pride rainbow was a symbol of inclusion. The trans pride emblem is exclusionary and a flag of war and control. Flags are used to demarcate the taking of territory. When the Germans took France, the tricolor was replaced by the Nazi flag. Classroom by classroom, sidewalk by sidewalk, the trans pride movement blitzkrieged on the back of gay and lesbian goodwill. I fought for gay rights in the early 70s, got raw eggs and ink thrown at us for our troubles. By the 90s, things were pretty good. There was gay marriage. Fully a third of my employees were gay. Many of my Fortune 500 clients were run by gay and lesbian CEOs. I have gay family members. It was okay. Not perfect, but then affirmative action metastasized into a DEI cancer, and an industry was born that made money by finding problems where none existed. The bizarre corporatization of pride by global brands that use it as a talisman to obfuscate their criminal malfeasance. This is appalling news, and that's the way it is.